Welcome back on GA Transfer Deadline Day. The screens are red hot with reaction to all of the latest movers and shakers. Tuam Stars people, you're not happy out there in Tuam. We know why. 8 players out, only a couple in, and both bus drivers. We'll deal with that a little bit later on. Is there a significance? Is there a significance in one crucial political move into Corofin?
Well, I think there is a major significance in this, and I think that this is a man that's trying to mop up all the votes he can. At the moment, he's resident in Tuam. He was with Carlstrand. Now he's transferring to Corofin. He's aiming definitely to make it big in the county council. It's really a political move, going for the full constituency, Larry Ban.
Clearly, what he's going to do then is replace the bus service with some sort of agricultural transport.
Well, it's on the cards.
It's likely.
It's on the cards.
Let's look
and having said it's on the cards, I think that Larry Ban could end up getting a red card over this move.
It's a big move. There's no question about it. Let's look at the rest of the Tuam Stars. The only other player in, apart from Damien Burke, John Scan Cuncannon. That's a fairly highly controversial move for a club that we're seen very much as a buying club in recent years, taking in James Kavanagh, taking in Michael Martin, spending money. Now, one of the godfathers of the club.
Try and bring in a few extra quid.
Big move from Tuam Stars, no doubt, but for Corofin, they've got rid of the bus drivers, but look at what they're bringing in, Kevin. Some big signings there. You mentioned some of the Tuam contingent heading out. Corofin obviously feel there's something still in the legs of Jerry Bodkin and Ian Doyle.
Well, there's no doubt about it. There is something in the legs of Jerry Bodkin and Ian Doyle. I'd say mostly it's what happens when they consume something. It obviously goes straight down to their legs, because you never see them stagger. You never see them sort of, do the little shimmies. They're really solid on their legs, and I think they're the men to bring in.
There's a sense of Newcastle United about the signings of Tony Keating and Alan Talty as well. The word pointless has come up on our text several times.
Well, Tony Keating, he has tried every position on the field, even in the middle of the field, and he's been hopeless at everything. So Tuam are really, it's a very fortunate move.
You say that's a positive move for Tuam.
Yeah.
Where are Corofin going though with those kind of signings? Is their era of dominance coming to an end?
Well, I don't think so. I think that what they're trying to do is they're trying to strengthen their squad in some way or other. Maybe they need people to organise the sort of the AstroTurf or something like that. They need that kind of strength out there to keep the club rolling along and keep it going.
Right. Cortoon Shamrocks, no major moves, but one man gone, Donal O'Neill to Dunmore McHale's, and we saw the celebrations in the square in Dunmore when that signing was confirmed. The Juan Mata move of the year?
Well, I'm amazed at this one, because what they have done is they've transferred Donal O'Neill to Dunmore, which is a cornerback, a renowned cornerback, and they brought in Angus Tierney from Tuam, another renowned cornerback. So, I mean, for me, when it comes down to the players, they're much of a muchness, and they both feature for the county side. So why get rid of one and then bring in the other? Is there something in Donal O'Neill's personality? I think, he's known as a quiet man, but is that the truth? Maybe he's not the quiet man he's supposed to be, and they've decided we'll shift him out to Dunmore and we'll bring in Angus Tierney. And I think it is noticeable too that they sent him to Dunmore, because we know that Dunmore are going nowhere, and maybe that's where they want him to go.
Right. Well, I do hear as well, by the way, that there is a little complication in there about land. We'll worry about that again. Milltown, though, apart from getting rid of Scan, the 2 Blakes are gone, Diarmuid and Cahill. That's a big move. Clearly, there is some sort of a problem there in the club. A complete wipeout of the Liskeavy contingent.
Well, the second one, the Diarmuid Blake one, for me, is absolutely astounding, because he's gone to Killereardon. Now, why anybody would go to Killereardon unless they were going off to Dublin or something? There's no reason to go to Killereardon. I mean, we know where Killereardon are at the moment, and Diarmuid Blake going to Killereardon, for me, is a very strange move. Maybe he wants to be, in a different side of the town of Tuam or something like that, as opposed to being on the Milltown side. He'd prefer to live on the Dublin Road side, and maybe it'd be handy for him if he was taking trips up to Dublin Road. But that's the only reason that I could see him going to Killereardon, that it's closer to Dublin.
Yeah, well, I'm hearing as well that he did sign that contract very late at night in Geoghegan's. I'm not sure he was fully aware of what he was signing, and again, there may well have been a spelling error involved in that as well. Cahill Blake going to Carlstrand, that might in somehow balance the move of Larry Ban. Very much like for like.
I think that is probably the best move that has been made in the whole transfer list. Cathal Blake going to Carla Strand to replace Larry Ban, because there's certainly no doubt about it. I mean, Larry Ban was a stalwart in Carla Strand for years, and you need a big man to replace him. You need big shoulders, somebody to fill those big boots that Larry Ban has been filling for years and years with Carla Strand.
Some interesting county moves as well. We have been mooting this for a number of years. Finally it's got through, but is it too late from a Galway perspective? Trevor Mortimer, is there a season or two left in him?
Well, Galway have been strengthening themselves using, they brought in James Kavanagh from Kildare, and I think that in the Galway forward line there was a need for some kind of element of fashion,
He's no Connor, that's for sure, but he still has his stylistics, and of course he spent quite a time in Africa as well, perfecting the bunga bunga dance, which will now be before every Galway game. The bookies are now telling us that Trevor Mortimer will lead Galway to an All-Ireland final, and invariably they will then lose.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me at all, because that's the style of it, isn't it?
Yeah,
that doesn't. Now, you mentioned moves. I mean, look at that one, Cork to Kerry. Arthur Ward. Kerry have been dealt severe blows in recent times. They've lost Galvin, they've lost the Gooch, and, we saw a number of people retire over the last couple of years. And what have they decided to do? They've brought in Arthur Ward. That's, for me, is just another big blow for Kerry.
Another big hit for Kerry to take there. Going the opposite direction, Stevie Sheehy to Cork as well, so their building continues as well. But we've got to talk finally, Kevin, about Ja Fallon. Again, we're getting loads of emails and texts in and tweets in as well. But where is Ja going? Because right now it's shrouded in mystery.
Well, it is, of course, and what I see here is that I understand he's talking with everybody that he can. So Ja Fallon is keeping his options open. He knows that this is the time now, the last crack he has at it, right? It's nearly the end of his day, and what he's doing is he's out there in the market and he's looking for the biggest bucks that he can get, and would you blame him?
There's another line of thinking that Ja has exploited an obvious loophole in the GA rulebook, which says there's nothing stopping you playing for everybody. So it's an interesting context. He can't lose. He's guaranteed to win an All-Ireland. He's playing for everyone.
Well, it's a great idea. It's a great idea for him. And then, of course, not only would he win an All-Ireland, but if he plays for everybody, he can play for Munster, he can play for Ulster, he can play for Leinster when it comes to the interprovincials. So he's definitely guaranteed a railway medal.
Shrewd move from Ja Fallon.